This spa day on the Biologosius Luxurious Plaza station has been a great day, Lupus. Is there anything else on our schedule today?
Oh, I'm so relaxed. Oh, no, hang on. That camera's live. Do we have BBTV?
Oh, shoot, yeah, we're live. And welcome to Beacon Space tonight with your host, Xavier Stordes, and my co-host...
I'm Lupus Calbrecht. I hope you've enjoyed some behind-the-scenes access to Biologis Luxurios, a biogene clinic we've been given free treatment at, thanks to one of our show's great sponsors, the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you.
And of course, any free gifts we receive while hosting Beacon Space tonight does not impact any of our coverage of local events. Speaking of which, have you noticed an increase in cargo-related traffic in the Thusis sector?
See, now that you talk about it, I did see a report on it somewhere. Maybe while I was looking at reports from the Penumbra. Either way, it's strange we haven't had any official statement on the matter. I again reiterate to our viewers our dedication to neutrality.
Absolutely. It's hopefully there's nothing untoward happening during our stay in the Helocytus orbit, which is within the Thusis system. That will be quite inconvenient for ourselves in news reporting.
And for those who are committing actions that you may rather we don't report. Speaking of breaking news, it seems I've been forwarded a must-watch video of some activity on Helocytus. Just hold with me 1 second.
Sure, while you follow up on that, I'll cover the rest of our top stories tonight. Trey Grin returns this month with an updated report on ominous fightings within this planet of Helocytus. Are you traveling in space? Covered by the Agumon Transit Authority? They've released a new travel advisory that you should be aware of.
So this video I have, it looks like it's been removed from my device by the authorities, but before it was, I could confirm a plant-like defensive structure was activated, and now my device is infected. Oh dear.
Quite unfortunate for you. You should go see our IT staff about that. But maybe do so over the commercial break. Before then, we should cover the planet of Kuzimu, recently rediscovered by the Concord of Mutual Disdain.
And after exploratory news, our very own Xavier Stordes is going to bring us a special report of brewing tensions between space trucker unions within Grograpatic.
Right. And finally, we'll end our show continuing our coverage with MudCon-related activities on the world of Helocytus. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Across the sector, there are so many worlds, each with their own story. But during the hustle and bustle of daily life, there's rarely enough time to get things done as it is, let alone dream of far-off vistas. That's why we've done the hard work for you. As part of the Aguamala Syndicate's project and Ziti, a plethora of new travel destinations have been identified for even the most novice traveler. Visit one of Fortuna's 5 cities for a day of shopping in the bazaar, or travel Gom's icy peaks to see its breathtaking views. A fan of forests? El Arpon offers hiking trails through unique biomes that will fascinate even the most experienced travelers. Quetzalcoatl's ruins are sure to be a hit with those looking for a fantastic photography experience, and for those more inclined for a trip to the high life, Calypso's resorts provide an ideal luxury getaway. Whatever your interests, we're sure that we can help you plan your perfect vacation. Brought to you by the Aguamalan Board of Tourism.
Thank you to the Agumon Board of Tourism for their sponsorship of Beacon Space tonight, and welcome to Unrestricted Lore Fair's Beacon Space setting. I'm Xavier Stordes, as was covered in the introduction. You may also know me on Discord as Lichmaster98, and welcome on in to the lore stream today for our system.
Welcome. This is our monthly show where we look at the various in-law reports, the media, and other such goings-on within the context of Beacon Space over the last month, and of course some special reports as and when we make them.
Absolutely. So you just finished watching an ad that I put together with the Agumala Syndicate for their Transportation Authority. It was quite fun to work on, thanks to several of their faction members for helping me put that together. And yeah, maybe you'll want to go visit on a one of those destinations. I still think we need to make our way out to Gome at some time.
And if you're here watching very confused about what's going on, then I don't know how you have missed us, given we broadcast to the entire sector, the most popular news show in Beacon Space. But if you are watching from outside of our sector, go and join our Discord, the Unrestricted Lawfare community. It's a lore-building community, an RPG playing community. You'd be more than welcome to join and talk to some fellow nerds.
Get to contribute to the wonderful things that show up in today's lore stream. And has it been our first one? I didn't actually check, but we actually have a double header today. After the conclusion of the lore stream, we'll be heading right into our monthly faction turn stream, where you'll get to join me as we roll some dice to play out the Stars Without Numbers faction turn system, transformed into a multiplayer game.
Yes, the monthly news cycle is relentless. As soon as we get through our lore report here, we will be seeing what will be making the news for the next lore stream.
Absolutely. With that, though, I think we should get to our first faction-generated report from the Children of the Vein and their hit reporter, Trey Grin.
Absolutely. It's been an action-packed month. Let's see what the factions have for us.
This report has been made possible by the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you. Visit your local branch for a consultation.
Hello, Beacon Space. This is Trey Grin filling in for Chaz, who's out bunker shopping today, here with the latest from around the sector. In the news this cycle, we have rumblings of war, horrifying footage, and an update on the Calbrick killer findings. For our top story this cycle, a temporary trading freeze was issued on Telos and Helocytus following reports of a failed act of state-sponsored industrial espionage on the Vein homeworld. Amidst rumors of brewing war, the Veins of Paradise and the Vein of Glorious Delights have issued a joint statement of cooperation as they resolve to set aside prior differences and present a united front in support of the Children of the Vein's next actions. In other news, a disturbing viral video has begun circulating Telos web space over the last few days. In the footage, several individuals were observed being brutally killed by some sort of plant-based organism. While authorities have been unwilling to comment on the precise nature of the video's content, security officials have issued a public advisory to avoid sharing the video and report all instances of the file, as it contains cyber and memetic malware, with all copies being purged by security authorities online. Having seen the disturbing footage myself, I can report that the malware in question specifically forces the full video to play, with the memetic malware effects forcing viewers to watch and memorize the clip. Fortunately, an appointment with a Grey Plus memetic incinerator will have you back to normal, with the added bonus of a citrusy aftertaste. And now, a brief word from our sponsors at the Vein of Blessed Preservation. All new from the design gardens of Helocytus, a new product in home and industrial security, the Amber Catchweed Guard, only on Telos. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better than the Crimson Catchweed, the experts at the Vein of Blessed Preservation are proud to announce new innovations in their floral security systems, tailor-made for Telos, a new locally grown environmentally friendly design with a brand new electronics-friendly protocol. If you want the latest in security for your home or business and you want it smelling fresh, then call the Vein of Blessed Preservation now for 10% off your first installment. And now, back to our report. For our last story, we have an exclusive update on the so-called Calbrick killer. According to our sources, AI responsible for the crimes, which calls itself Eddie, was a medical assistance AI for the long-abandoned Hospital of Bleed Recovery here on Telos. The trapped hospital AI's programming was corrupted from broadcast data streams and intercepted an encrypted cloning protocol of unknown origins. The AI proceeded to override the abandoned hospital's bleed tech wing, and built cloning vats capable of reproducing bleed users. At one point, the corrupt AI intercepted a news report of BBTV anchor L. Kalberg injuring his leg and, under its corrupt processes, produced a replacement limb alongside a full clone. However, due to warped cerebral cloning processes, the clone proceeded to go on a murderous rampage across Telos, resulting in the origin of the Kalberg killer. However, this isn't case closed on the story, as a new report suggests that there may have been a single Trey Grin clone released for vacation. It would seem that the AI thinks I'm overworked, and they're probably right. Hopefully, the AI wasn't able to reproduce my former Special Forces training. Fortunately for everyone in the studio and our dear listeners, I was just subjected to a DNA test about an hour ago, and they've confirmed that I'm probably the original. Authorities are currently searching for my clone as we speak, hoping to prevent future clone attacks. And that concludes our sector report for this cycle. Dire times and clones ahead. Tune in next time to find out. This has been Trey Grin, blipping out.
Thanks, Trey Grin, for that thrilling report. Kalberg, how does it please you to know that there was a clone of yourself running around?
I cannot emphasize that I hate nobody more than myself, and if I was in a room with myself and Trey Grin's clone, I would hesitate before strangling Trey Grin to death and stealing his reporter award. For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Quite understandable. Well, I do hope authorities are able to capture the Trey Grin clone before there's any Trey Grin murderer cases reported. In other news, did you happen to see that new security product? Did it look vaguely like the thing you saw in the video?
I can think of nothing else, and I think I have an appointment to book. But there is a thought breaking through, which is a very important PSA that we have for our watchers and our viewers, issued by the Aguamalan Transit Authority.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at their general travel advisory.
The Aguamalan Transit Authority out of Nueva Cuetmoc, the transit authority associated with the Agumala Syndicate, have issued a travel advisory to all travelers for potentially dangerous locations. It includes 0807 Thusis, the planet of Helocytus, where we are currently reporting from that there is an economic conflict in progress, so please be careful when traveling through. Then Sector 1206, Correnta Cinco. While Calypso has been a hotspot of tourism, tensions between it and a newly reconnected El Arpon are at an all-time high. So again, non-essential craft, please avoid the system until Aguamala Syndicate and their representatives can make it safe to travel once more. And lastly, the ongoing issue that's affecting the space lanes. Sector 1012 has been the last sighting of the white whale. This creature is extremely volatile and dangerous, according to the Aguamala Transit Authority, and so should be avoided at all costs. Please check the BBTV Journey Planner to choose your gate routes more carefully and avoid any systems that you would like to avoid.
Of course, that gate planner takes in travel advisories from not only the Aguamalan Transit Authority, but all transit authorities distributed across the sector, hoping to keep you as safe as possible while also making transit incredibly complicated.
Indeed, we are simply presenting this general travel advisory. We cannot verify the claims of any outside organization that doesn't have the BBTV seal of approval, which the Aguamalan Transit Authority has gained and lost in previous months, so just keep an eye on which sources have been fact-checked by our crack team of me looking at it.
That's quite, you don't happen to have any more of those seal stickers, do you? I could use one for my next report.
I did lose. I think I left some in the sauna.
Hopefully they were recovered by our team of assistants and not some enterprising criminals.
Absolutely.
Yep. I believe we're going to have to hold off on our exploratory reports, which was our next topic of conversation. I'm hearing we've received a partial transmission of audio on its way back to the assembled Commonwealth from this system. It's a live report, so we're not quite sure where it's coming from yet, or how this report's been put together, but we'll bring it to you all anyway. Perhaps you all will be able to make better sense of it than we can.
This is unlike any industrial site that I've ever been in. It looks like a park. Are you sure we're in the right place?
These are the coordinates received. There has to be something here.
This looks like some sort of office fused with a greenhouse. It's even as humid as one. How do they get work done here while wearing those robes?
Shh. Did you guys hear that?
I think that sound was the tree walking outside. Something I never thought I would say.
Guys, my senses detect tranquilizer gas.
We're compromised. Abort and inform Alpha.
Alpha, this is Bravo. Mission abort. We have been detected. Repeat, mission abort. Do you read me, Alpha?
The vines in the room are now covering the exits.
Time to go loud. Bring out the grenades.
Frack, I've got visual on Alpha. They're just standing there.
There's too many. I need a blade.
It touched my leg. Frack, I can't feel it.
Frack, they've been infected or something. They have some sort of vegetation coming out of them.
Who?
Alpha!
Frack.
Go, I'll blow the wall.
Frack, they're dragging him away.
Stick to the plan. Don't go after...
Mission command. Mission failure. All teams assumed to be compromised. I see them. Oh, frack.
An interesting audio report. It sounded like it was some of the teams from the assembled Commonwealth. We'll have to put those voices through our identification software and see if we can put some names to them.
I'm being told to choose my words carefully or I will lose my massage chair privileges. So I will simply say that you should examine the file on your own and come to your own conclusions.
Absolutely. But thank you to those who recovered that transmission for us. Perhaps now it's time we move on to our exploratory provisions, where we were originally intending to cover next.
Absolutely. Next up, we have a closer examination of a recently explored planet, although not so recently anymore. Coming out of a faction which has a good track record of providing reports to the wider sector as to what the state of their planets is Cosimu, or however you pronounce that with gills. It is a very well-developed planet with lore that has been written according to the tags that fits very well and is interesting with quite the extensive history. I would definitely recommend giving it a look for some interesting planet lore.
As well as the connections into the Concord of Mutual's Disdain's first civilization jailers, who seem to have managed to leave some records on this planet as well as Concord's own.
Indeed, the ongoing mystery of who, what, or when was the entity or entities that caused the Concord to be jailed in the first place. Who knows? This planet may provide clues.
Hopefully it does help to make the mystery a little bit more clear, but sometimes more information just makes everything more confusing. Which is why, if you're interested in a slimmed down version of Beacon Space reporting, we have a text-only option now available. You just need to append .txt to all of our space links when you're interested in accessing our articles.
And of course, as always, the video format is available as an XVR download.
Of course. Well, we'd like to thank the Concord Mutual Disdain for their incredible lore on this planet, including its extensive history, and if you're interested in checking it out on your own time, I will provide the link to those in the Twitch chat, as well as it'll be underneath the archived video in the description below. With exploration reviews done, I believe it's up to my report on the upcoming hostilities, perhaps? They haven't quite gotten that far. In our next intended destination, while the Gene Spa has been quite relaxing, you haven't gotten a chance to read that memo I wrote up, Lupus, have you?
No, I didn't want to take off the face mask, and my assistant, who was supposed to summarize and read it out to me, hasn't quite got to it yet.
I see. Well, you should certainly read it, or have it summarized to you as I hear is the standard, because logistics delivery is expected to be rather complicated as an increasing number of reports spell out the rivalry between Space Trucker Union's elite emissary in electronics, stationed on Icaros, and Green Harvest, primarily stationed on Moss in the Garpactic system. This has transitioned from a stew to a simmer with tensions ready to boil over at a moment's notice.
Maybe they can put a lid on it and get a wooden spoon delivered. Might help bury the tensions.
Perhaps it might, because that's right, the Icarosian Akieti, the accelerated prefect of the elite emissary and electronics on Icaros, and Consigliere Ginobise of Green Harvest are in a mutual standoff over shipments to Bunnik 5, commonly referred to within the industry as the kitchen, due to the large amount of raw industrial materials processed at this remote outpost within the sector.
Well, Xavier, it sounds like if they can't take the heat, they should get out of the kitchen.
Yes. I suppose that is the problem in this case, though, given neither side has resolved the shipping spat, suspending most deliveries to and from the station, so they have quite exited the kitchen. Vital deliveries are still taking place, however, primarily being serviced by the Marja and Daughters union, as both individual smaller unions agree that workers in Bunkik should not face the brunt of their fight.
It has not yet devolved to food fights or the returning of aprons. Respectable. Maybe these unions could do with a central figure or someone to get the ball rolling on negotiations. Something that nobody else seems able to do right now.
No one quite yet, but so far that's the end of the reporting I've managed to scrounge up on the topic. But I do have some discussion questions if you're interested. The first one being, this trade suspension has so far lasted only 4 Talassian days. How long will it go before large manufacturing bottlenecks start to arrive in the Groptic system and affect the sector at large?
And how will this impact both Triple E and Green Harvest on the Iderastian futures market? If you would like more financial discussion, while I am not a financial advisor, you can tune in to BBTV-F, which in 7 hours at 13 o'clock will be reporting the latest from the markets around the sector.
Absolutely, with that largest market taking place on the planet of Idarast, given, especially for space trucker unions, given most of them have some physical presence there, as it helps make exchanging currency and their contract arrangements much easier.
Yes, look out for that announcement from the council. Make sure that your cargo containers are IPv4-A compliant, the new regulation on the length of securing bolts and their self-sealing properties. Make sure that you are not using the old style of bolt.
Yes, of course, that would be quite catastrophic for your shipment, but perhaps not as catastrophic as not getting logistic deliveries at all.
You don't want to be turned away at the gate after waiting 4 hours in the queue.
4 hours. It's certainly going to take us closer to 12 to get out of this system.
Ah, yeah, right. I forgot about the other permit for the thing.
Yes, quite complicated, but it's alright. We have assistants to take care of this for us.
While we're here, did you get to go to MudCon and see the music set?
I, in fact, did manage to pop down momentarily. I got a media pass that allowed me to walk around the halls. I didn't go as myself, though, because I didn't want to be accused of being a Xavier Stordiz lookalike impersonator, as we learned from last week. So instead, I just simply went as a tourist. Changed my hair around, got some implants from the gene clinic, in fact, to change my eye color, and no one recognized me at all. It was amazing. It was one of the few times I've been able to walk around a crowded event and not have hundreds of people come up asking for my autograph.
Well, for those of you that missed it, because 4-day passes, or indeed single-day passes for the Friday and Saturday, are nearly impossible to acquire if you are not camping that purchase button at time of release. There is highlights from MudCon up on the BBTV VOD service. Of course, you will have to pay a fee both to us and the government of Helocytus and the MudCon organizers. However, there are limited highlights, and I believe that the Helocytus broadcasting will be revealing a full play-by-play of the events available for purchase at some time. I'm not quite sure on that. You will have to wait for their announcement. But if you would like to have some hint of what it was like to be down there during the big music set, which featured a lot of the sector's well-known artists, but there was a breakout surprise performance, I believe.
Yes, that's right. I even got a chance to sit down with this breakout act of Serenity Blaze for an episode of Lives of Beacon Space. Perhaps we should take a listen to that interview.
I would love to.
This week on People of Beacon Space, I'm chatting with Serenity Blaze, an upcoming pop star who recently performed at the MudCon Biohack Convention. Biohacking, for those unaware, is the fusion of biological and contemporary technology. Serenity, why did you choose to perform at such an interesting convention?
Right, well, MudCon. That's a real deal now, isn't it? Raw, no censors, no stops. You got a real skill with blood and tech. That's where you go. Been a fan of it since I was little. First time I was there, this woman, she comes on stage, yeah? Big bio tattoos all over, and these living metal wings. Oh, I was hooked. That's even where I got Civil Soundwave here. It was getting built for a contest, and the actor let me keep him after.
You found yourself on a recent upswing of popularity across the sector in near record time. How's that experience been like for you?
It's got me head spinning, to be truthful. Go from a few comments on some videos I got up and playing a few pubs here and there to people coming up to me in the streets and knowing who I am. People telling me what I do means something to them. Also rash meeting them in here and that. But still, spinning.
Speaking of spin, there are rumors of your association with the criminal group Penumbra. Are there any truth to this?
Criminal group, yeah? That's like calling the government innocent, isn't it? Nah, never met a real criminal in my life. There's just some things no one wants to get their hands dirty with. But still gotta get done, yeah? Most born with more than two creds rubbed together don't get that. Because things just get done round you. Don't have to know how. Rest of us get it. You look deep enough, Mr. Xavier. I bet you've got some associations with them too.
I understand, but I can't imagine I've got any connection, nor my host for that matter, but we'll continue to investigate just to be sure. Let's talk some more about your music. Your hit song, Like an Animal, is setting records, including #1 song on TTGI station, as well as #3 on Helocytus. How does this make you feel?
Well, it's fucking cool now, isn't it? I mean, sure, it takes me a sec to take it all in, but when I do, I feel thankful. Because it means that someone out there loves what I do. I mean, lots of people. It's like, yeah, I'm not the only one who feels like this. And we're all over the sector. And that connection, that's a rush. And it feels really cool.
What advice do you have for someone growing up in the music industry today?
Right then, 2 things. Don't do it unless you love it. This job will drag you through the best and worst times of your life. And unless you love it, whatever else you get from this industry, it'll never be enough. And second, don't be afraid to fail. Because you will, at least once. Probably more, just like the rest of us. I mean, God, I've got some stories there. But listen, learn from it. Failure is not a bad thing. But letting it stop you is.
Now for a chance to flip the script. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. How do you feel knowing you're now one of the top 10 choice for cosplayers at MudCon? 16 years ago and won last year, didn't you? Think you'd ever up down in the mud and try it yourself?
Well, I'm sure I'd lose any Xavier Storda's lookalike contest, just like every celebrity which joins one of those. But I can't imagine I'll be attending MudCon anytime soon. Any last thoughts for the people?
Yeah. Big thank you to everyone, my fans. Don't be shy. Keep coming up, say hi at MudCon, say hi on the streets. I'll be at the con as long as I have me. And I'll be doing more off-world stuff in the future, so come and see you. And, like the song says, every storm you're facing, you're just one step from getting out, so keep going. Right.
Serenity, thanks for joining us today. This has been People of Beacon Space, and I've been Xavier Stordas. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and hopefully next time you'll get to hear from another one of these interesting individuals from around the sector. In the meantime, let's leave you with a short snippet of Serenity Blaze's hit song, Like an Animal. Thank you to Serenity Blaze for sitting down with me for an interview during the busy MudCon performance season. Hopefully all of you enjoyed her hit song Like an Animal as much as I did.
Absolutely. What a fantastic interview with an up-and-coming star. Although, had her time up-and-coming, but is now having somewhat of a resurgence, especially with this interview and the MudCon set. Looking forward to seeing more from Serenity Blaze. I know that I will be going to the midnight release of her next album, whenever that release may be.
Perhaps I will have to join you, and we'll have to catch back up with Serenity for a People of Beacon Space version 2, where we catch back up with people that we've interviewed previously to see how their life has changed since their last interview. With that, though, I believe we have a report from yourself, continuing to cover the MudCon Biohack Convention.
Indeed we do, relating to Serenity Blaze. If you would like to play as a character inside the world of Beacon Space, not operating in the political sphere of all the factions and the things we've been discussing, but operating in the morally grey shadows of those giant political organizations, you can. Beacon Space Free Agents is a cipher system RPG set within the criminal underworld of this universe, Beacon Space. You can play a sneaky thief, deadly assassin, an elite hacker, a mercenary muscle. You can be a master of the mystic arts, do some bleed magic, or anything else that you can come up with.
That's right, currently on Free Agents, the biohack convention that fuses technology and biology like nowhere else, MudCon, is taking place. Festivities and events are in full swing as our agents delve into the underworld of ticket scalpers, battle bot cheats, and, eco-anarchist.
That's right. Drawn by a lead given to them by the Handler in Exile Greek Fire, an elite team of high-level agents spent their convention at MudCon getting to know new people. Interesting people who speak of freedom and deregulation. Interesting people who, through pure chance or maybe careful manipulation, have enticed the agents to their exclusive after-party. Watch out for that in an upcoming session.
Interesting. Other people were in attendance too, such as the intergalactic out-of-this-world punk sensation Serenity Blaze, who you just heard an interview with, who found herself targeted by crowds of enthusiastic fans and biobot assassins. As well, there are Kartakook corporate executives present, including a sentient bat who doesn't have a name, and an ex-military smuggler also featured in this hairy journey to get Serenity to the arena on time for her set.
Well, thankfully, Serenity Blaze made it right on time to burst onto the stage in dramatic fashion and secured an interview with BBTV that you've just heard. If all of this sounds interesting to you, the Free Agents game is West March's style. It's drop in and drop out. You can make a character and participate in as many or as few game sessions as you would like. Get in touch with myself or any of the mod team on the Discord server and we'll get you set up to join in a game.
In fact, I think there's some planning going on for the next round of games that are going to be taking place soon, so now would be a great time to join if you had been looking to play some RPG games.
Absolutely.
With that, though, I don't think we have much more news today other than the upcoming faction turn. Can you think of anything else, Calbrecht?
I will be swapping over to BBTVF for the financial report, but while that is happening, Anchor Xavier Storditz here will be continuing on to what you've all been waiting for, Faction Turn 24.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a short pause here for a few minutes while I reconfigure the video interfaces we're using here to stream, and we'll be right back with the faction turn in probably about 5 minutes, so 15 minutes before the top of the hour, wherever that top of the hour is for you. And yeah, I'll see everyone back here in just a few minutes then. Thanks for tuning in to our lore stream today. I hope you've enjoyed.